I'm here with Chris, Ryan, Nina, Angela, John, Lisa and Danny, and we're going to be doing another topic pick out of the cut. John's eager to go this morning, so he'll pick us a question.
There we go.
We'll do our best.
Principles before personalities.
You going to start us off then, John?
No. I'm not really sure what that means.
It means that even if you don't like someone and someone bugs you, you be kind to them anyway.
Okay. So, yeah, that's a difficult one, isn't it? You know, because it isn't just about, for me, within that, I can say I struggle now that I'm sober, now I'm in recovery of addiction. My struggle can be as simple as standing in the supermarket, waiting at the checkout, and someone's fumbling around with the phone or the card, and it's not working either, but they keep doing it. I just want to go over and push them out the way. If I get on a bus and I'm sitting there and someone starts to fumble for the money or the way to pay the fare, you've been there 20 minutes at the stop, now the bus is here, you're holding me back.
Yeah.
I want to take a shotgun.
Yeah.
That's where I am at.
So I think there's some literature on it as well, isn't there? So they're saying like, you don't really kind of know what someone's going through or how someone's feeling or whether they've just had... It's like they say like road rage is a great trigger for people, isn't it? And like I'm murder for it sometimes. I'm like, fucking what are you going? But then when I don't do that and I'm sort of having... And I have like a little bit of patience and a little bit of tolerance around it, I kind of get that thinking where I remember like... Or maybe they're in a rush to get the kids, or maybe, you know, they're on the way to the hospital, or maybe they're just a dickhead, and that's fine too. Do you know what I mean? You can't change people and places and things.
No.
You know, it's like that. It comes with like acceptance around things as well. Do you know what I mean? Like principles before personalities. It's like people are free to be and do whatever they want to do, and it's none of our business.
No.
You know what I mean? All we can do as each individual human being is try our best, to do our best
On the daily basis.
to pass,
You see,
like, to try and be a good example.
From the opposite side too, because I'm like, it's coming up to about a year since I've been in NA, not since like I've got clean time and coming up for 9 months, but with me it's, when I first came through, it was put principles before personality, because I can get on with anyone. But that doesn't mean it's for good of my recovery, if you get me, being, you know, like speaking to someone, because you find if they're not on the same principles or steps as you, are different aspects of their recovery to you, then you're not in the same place, if you get me. Do you know what I mean? It's like sometimes they're too new, or they've not got, even if they're old in this, sometimes don't have the same spiritual like principles or journey as well, do they as well, I think.
That's just like life in general, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't get on with anyone. It's like if you're working, then you know you can't, like when
Yeah.
I've been working, but I haven't liked everybody that I've
Yeah.
worked with, but I've respected and I've not talked to
Yeah.
them badly.
Yeah.
And I've respected who they are and stuff like that, but it doesn't mean that I've gone out with them afterwards or spent some time socially,
Yeah.
because they're not the kind of people that I want to
Yeah,
spend
someone
time
said
with.
Yeah.
to me actually a few weeks ago, you know, like there is kind of like it's alright to go and have a coffee with someone, it's alright to go to a meeting with someone, or it's alright to do someone, just don't invite them into your home for like spend the night.
Boundaries,
Do you know what I
isn't
mean?
it?
Yeah.
That's
Like,
yeah.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, welcome to the
Welcome.
podcast.
Hello.
Come and get a seat,
Yeah, we're filming, welcome.
We need
Come
you
and join in, we need
if
you.
we're on it.
This is Nicola and Matthew, and we're speaking about principles before personalities.
What are your thoughts? What's your input?
Straight in it.
Just got back. What my
Really?
Share your experience, share with help, isn't it?
No, I think Someone once said to me years ago in recovery that like that statement can be taken in two different ways. I don't know if this has been shared already, but this is how I look at it, is that not only do I have to put principles above other people's personalities, I also have to look at that as my own as well.
Yeah.
Because there's obviously parts of my personality in recovery. Some people call it character defects, traits, whatever, but it's parts of myself where I want to act out. And ultimately, I've got to try and lead with my principles first, you know, because really I'm the only person I've got any control over my actions. So
Amen.
yeah, you know, so I can't, and that is principles before personality. To me, is recognising that I do not control other people. I'm powerless over them.
Yeah.
So therefore, me trying to exert any control is exactly what that statement is saying. You just can't do anyway.
Yeah.
Don't bother, you know. It's not always easy.
No.
Sometimes I'm definitely
It's
putting
that acceptance,
I'm definitely
isn't
putting
it?
personalities first in my head. I can say that. It happens in here. I'm like, you know, I can get judgmental, I can get resentful, but the way I do it is in my actions
Yeah.
to not harm people. I can think it, but if I don't do it, then I feel like I'm practicing that as much as
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah, I agree.
So is it patience then?
Well, you could list off a million principles, couldn't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
It doesn't, I
Self-awareness.
love it because it doesn't specify
Yeah.
what
And it
principles.
can come down
so
to
you
the
should do it.
situation that you've placed
Exactly,
in.
yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You could be in a situation that requires patience. You could be in a situation that requires understanding, etc., etc., etc.
So if I'm on that bus and someone's pissing about, I'm waiting to pay,
Understanding.
I keep the gun in the back.
Yeah.
Patience,
Compassion,
understanding.
it's
And that's a
whatever
metaphorical
it
gun,
needs, yeah.
by the way.
Yeah, we're not here to shoot anybody.
Yes. What about this one?
Marseille, do you need any help?
Yeah, well,
There you
Take
go.
it a step further.
Yeah.
Take that.
Yeah.
well,
Principles, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
compassion as well. Like
Yeah.
when I get frustrated if I'm being impatient. Like I used to have terrible road rage. Like I actually had to address this in my step work because it was that bad. My ability
Yeah.
to think that it was all right for me to treat the outside world like that in my car, and it wasn't.
You did something, didn't you? Share the story.
So when I was going through this, I was unaware that it was okay for me, and actually I was choosing what I see now as abusing the public. You know, it all came to a head when I was having a really bad day, and I drove into I think it was Asda car park, and quite rightly so, this old man was just pulling out of this space, and I just lost it. Anyway, I'm getting out of my car and I'm fronting this elderly man. It's funny, but it's not funny, that's the thing, you know, I'm fronting this elderly man and I'm screaming at him because I felt like he was going slow and he was being like, again, it was me, it was my stuff, it was my personality, that was the problem. And after I did that, I walked away and I got back in my car, and the guilt and the shame that I used to feel when I was using, because I've got a conscience now that I can feel it, I remember going and sitting with my sponsor and like having to say, like, I really need to sit and address like what's going on here, the fact that I think it's acceptable to treat people in the room, to treat my family, my friends, but the reality is when I'm out there in the world, I'm not doing what I should be doing, and that's because I'm putting my own personality above principles right now, and that was a reality check for me, because that's not a person I like. It's in me.
Yeah.
It's in me. You know, that's one of my defects was anger, big time. But I don't want to be that person. I don't like who I am when I'm
See,
like
I've
that.
had that the opposite way. So with the outside world, great. Do you know
But
what I
then
mean?
internally,
And then in like the people close to me,
yeah.
Remy, I can go 0 to 100. Do you know what I mean? People close, and then I'm like, that's where I see my defects the most, with the people closest to me. Do you know what I mean? That's where I probably struggle to practice it. That's where I have to really dig deep and and practice it the most. But yeah.
Right, well, I think we're going to wrap it up.
Yeah, wrap
now.
it up. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you've got any more suggested topics, what we can put into the bowl, please send them in and give us a like, share, subscribe. Yeah, we'll see you soon.
Bye.